Here to tell us more, Uri Landesman. He's the president of Platinum Management, where he oversees $1 billion in assets, and he thinks that we're about to see some merger activity in this sector. Good to have you with us, Uri. Thanks so much for coming in. So just to paint the picture right now for what's happening, big pharma, patents coming off, they got to find new ways to grow.
Right, and their labs just plain haven't been producing the drugs that they need in order to grow anywhere near the multiples that are implied by their valuations right now. Now, they have been amassing cash over the last 3 years, and so I think what you're going to see is a spate of acquisitions from some of the larger players, buying some of the more nimble, smaller players who really have come up with dynamic technology.
All right, but the only ones they buy are the ones that already have the FDA approval for whatever it is they're developing.
So that's an interesting question, Pimm, and I think we'll have to see. I think in certain cases, you're right, they're going to wait for FDA approval. In other cases where they have very good indications, for instance, where the phase 3 trial was an open trial in another drug. So oftentimes the FDA gets to see the results of the data while the trial is going on. So for certain drug approvals, and those approvals typically come quicker after the FDA accepts the final filing. And so a couple of ones that we're talking about we think might fit into that category.
So, I mean, for example, we had the news today, Pfizer and its lung cancer drug that was approved by the FDA. The stock of Pfizer moving higher. I think it was about 3.5–4% today. I mean, is that the kind of thing that moves the stock now, is if you add that to your drug portfolio?
And absolutely. And if you think about it, in these smaller companies where they may have 1 or 2 drugs as the entire company, you know, Pfizer moves 4% on one little drug. Imagine what some of these small ones can do.
All right. So what are the criteria that you look for? I mean, does it have to have a really big market? Does it have to be approved by Medicare?
All right. So we have to have a very strong indication that there is dramatic new technology here and that the drug is very likely to have approval before we'll get involved with the company.
All right. So you got things like what, big addressable markets, diabetes, for example.
Right. So in diabetes, we're involved in a company that does testing there. They're called Echo Therapeutics. It's a rather small company right now, but they have a patch with plastic teeth that will transdermally read your blood sugar and give you real-time readings on blood sugar for up to 2 days per patch without breaking the skin at all. This is an $18 billion plus addressable market, and we think this might be the most important diabetes product of any kind out there on the market today.
You got shares in the company?
Yeah, we own a decent position in Echo, have been involved for a number of years. They actually have a drug that's going to get approval long before that in the transdermal spread of anesthesia like lidocaine. But about a year from after that drug gets approval, we're expecting the continuous glucose monitoring product to get approval, and we think that could be the real blockbuster here.
Now, I got to push it because I know that you've got a personal stake in this, right? I mean, because there's got to be a connection. You yourself.
Right. So I am a diabetic. That's coincident with our involvement with Echo. I am hoping that because of that condition, I'm going to be able to actually take part in the clinical trial that they're about to launch. We think sometime next month. There are some legal issues involved. If we can get around those, I'm actually going to be on the trial. I've spoken with people who've been involved with it at the lab stage, and this product really works. So we're very, very confident that the clinical trial is going to go well.
Now, in a situation like this, so why wouldn't a big pharma company come in and say, you know what, let's take a big stake in a company like this. Let's buy some shares of Echo. We'll help fund the research, and then we've got a sort of first mover advantage if indeed things turn out to be positive.
And so I think what you're going to see happen is a little bit of a tug of war. So the big pharma companies are going to want to come in and get distribution deals first in the United States, then in Europe and Asia for this product. Echo may or may not decide to sign those distribution deals. They have a distribution deal on the product that's involved in plastic surgery. They may do that, or one of the companies may decide to get a leg up and just decide to buy Echo in its entirety, and betting that it's going to be a lot cheaper to buy it before FDA approval than after FDA approval.
All right. Well, we're going to leave it there for now, but keep us up to date and let us know if you get into those trials.
Absolutely.
Uri Landesman joining us from Platinum Partners. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on biotechnology.